I'm going to listen down the midline. So I'm going to check here for the possibility of a hiatal hernia if that reflex is not active. I check the pylorus right here, which is where the stomach hooks up with the duodenum, the first section of the small intestine, and that's a little bit tight, not too bad, a little bit tight. There we go, that just released. And see, do you remember how before I was like, my hand was being pulled way back? It's not like that anymore. So that's super awesome. So because the uterus is lifted up a little bit, then what we're gonna do is go into the bladder and see if the bladder will lift. So remember, the bladder connects to the pubic bone. It connects to the sacrum in the back of the pelvis, right? And then it connects to the side walls of the pelvis and a few other places. It even connects to the belly button. Can you believe it? And so,
no, I can't. That's so
yeah,
cool.
it connects to the belly button through what we used to pee out of when we were a tiny baby inside of our mom.
Okay.
And that urachus turns into a ligament. And so that's one of the main ones that lifts the bladder. And so if the bladder's low, a lot of times it can be that ligament that's not lifting properly. And so then we do core strengthening to bring that up. So I'm going to come down to the bone. We're going to check the bladder connecting. Can this undouble a little bit so I can? That's good like that. Yeah. So there's the bone, and there's the pubovesical ligaments. The vesicle is another name for bladder. Okay. Of course, they have to call things the fancy name, and so especially the left side is kind of like a little bit pulling. So these ligaments actually like move every time you fill your bladder. They're kind of like this when the bladder's empty, and then they have to stretch as the bladder grows. and so we just want them to be pliable, right? So that they can have that capacity to move as the bladder fills and empties. So we're working with the pubovesical ligament on the left here. There we go, that's good. So I'm gonna come up, I'm feeling for those supporting ligaments. And so this right here, this is where the ureter inserts into the bladder. And so I'm gonna follow it because sometimes the bladder is a little bit droopy, because, you know, the surrounding structures are not set up right. And so we need to get that, I call it iron out the ureter, which is the tube that goes between the kidney and the bladder. And so if you had a kidney that wasn't moving properly, like I think a while ago, we might have worked on that, then sometimes that ureter just needs a little bit of help coming back on board. Yeah. So we'll just iron out this ureter a little bit. I don't even know if people know what irons are anymore. Do people know what they are?
I know what one is.
You do. That's super. I don't even know the last time I used an iron. There's probably a better way to say it than ironing out something. Okay, I'm going to come back to the pubic bone. We'll check that. Okay, that pubovesical ligament is good now. That ureter is good now. And we have a little bit more left. So this is something we would come back to and work with in more 3 dimensions to, later on.